Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
See, I don't know about y'all, but like for real, I don't mind being talked about. My problem come in when they start making stuff up. So you can talk about me all you want. It is what it is. You know, it's either I did it or I didn't. I said it or I didn't. Whatever the case is, I don't care. I let whoever think whatever, feel whatever. That's on them. You know what I'm saying? But it's the making up part. It's the lying part. It's the adding on to part that always get me. I don't mind being talked about. It's when y'all start lying that bothers me.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, good morning. As you can see, I'm utterly exhausted. I've been here since the 28th. Today is my last day here. I'm going to do, going with friends to do some things at Arlington Cemetery, and then I'll be heading home. I have a 14-hour drive home, so hopefully I get home in the wee hours of morning. So Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you all here this morning. Nice to see you. Good morning. Sharon Perez, the first one to say good morning to Bullhorn Betty in chat. Nice to see you all. And don't forget to hit the like button on your way in. Today is Sunday. Holy crap, this week has gone by. Can you believe it's already March 5th? We're already almost through the first quarter of the year. That is insane to me. It doesn't even feel like it. I was wondering what I was going to be doing this year, and I have been just working. So good morning, Cranky Pants. Mike Stevens in the house. Nice to see you. Patricia Miller. Alabama Mama of 4, Monica Williams. Princess Megan Elsa. Nice to see you, Brandy. Clarinda. Stacy. Lexi Texie. Oh, I love that. That's cute. That's cute. Sword of the Spirit. Nice to see you this morning. I've been getting your emails, by the way. I just haven't had a lot of time to respond to them. Fun with Heatha. It's nice to see you guys here this morning. Jen Between. Sandra. Nice to see you. See, you have the same name as me, except it's minus the S. And I bet you I'm saying your name right. Sandra, not Sandra, right? It's because people can say Sandra. They just can't say Andra. It's funny to me. I don't know what's wrong with my throat. Probably because I met with my crew. We did some filming out in front of the building yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, it was the day before yesterday. So it was crazy. We had a lot of people that went with us. And like I said, there was about 20 of us sponsored to come to this event. And it was definitely, well, it was eye-opening. We're going to discuss it further when I'm back at the house, but it was definitely eye-opening here. Not necessarily, we'll go over the stuff when we get home. I want to make sure that I say it correctly. I don't want to offend anybody, especially since we were sponsored here. So, Ro, it's nice to see you. Bullhorn Betty is present. Jen Between, Betty, text me later when you're free. I'm going to step out and try to get answers. Source only 34 minutes away. Oh, okay, Jen. Will do. Yeah, I've got you. Actually, you popped up on my phone. I almost texted you this morning accidentally at like 4 o'clock. As you know, it's 6:30. We're not going to be able to stay too long because I've got to be over Arlington by about 8:15. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Buffalo Mountain, Tennessee girl. Nice to see you, Mary. Wild Cherry. Skipper D. Karen Davis. Oh, thank you, Wild Cherry. God bless you. I want to go with the other side. I want to see what it is. Did I just get, oh my God. Jen Between just gifted 10 memberships. It just happened to come over to the side. She just gifted 10 memberships. God bless you. Skipper D, Lexi Texie, SD Long, Rowe, Susan McCarthy, Darlene, Tina, Doreen, Courtney, Alexi Lee. Don't forget to say thank you to Miss Jen, and thank you, Wild Cherry, for the beautiful cup of coffee. I do need it. As you know, I am on my monster kick since I don't have coffee here. I probably do, but by the time I get out of here, by the time I leave here and get off this live, I'm literally out the door, running around, So, and like today's not going to be any different. I'm hoping I get on the road by 11. If I get on the road by 11, I should be home by about 2 a.m. So I don't know what's going to go on with Coffee Club. Hopefully I get my butt up out of bed in the morning and continue to go. So Mimi's Mysteries. Nice to see you, Mimi. Good morning. Help Me, Rhonda. Nice to see you. Karen Davis. SD Long, or CD Long. Sorry about that. Still half asleep. Just Samantha. What does it say? It says, everyone was crazy. I think it's household items any PA home will have. He didn't even live there recently. No smoking gun. I don't know what that is referencing to. Unfortunately. Camilla, nice to see you. Night Nurse, good morning. Kelly searches for answers. Nice to see you. Will you be shooting straight through to Florida nonstop? Yes. Yes, Angela, I will be shooting nonstop because I've got meetings with county commissioners on the 7th, and I've got I rescheduled the meeting with the attorneys for the 9th, the Tennessee attorneys for the 9th. But I can tell you, we've got a lot of work ahead of us if we're going to be making changes with these children. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. And I'll just go through it right now. And then we're going to get on because I don't have a whole lot of time this morning because of my schedule. So here's the issue. There's been so many things going on in our higher tier government, so many things from Ukraine to I'm not going to get into all the political stuff, that we're not interested in. But there's a lot of stuff going on. So this does need to be literally a grassroots effort, because until we start getting the politicians, the smaller politicians, the lower level politicians on board with reform in different states, and we need to acquire 35 states in order to start, pushing the federal government. And that's going to be the hardest part. And we kind of knew that going in here, because I talked to you guys about that once before with these children that we needed. That's why I came here, is because I was figuring I would be able to meet with people from different states, which I have. I did hand out, I still have a small stack of cards, so I didn't get all of my cards handed out. But the conversations I did have were meaningful conversations. So, it's not necessarily a quantity as much as it is quality when it comes to these avocations. But we're going to continue to go down the road that we're going. There needs to be meaningful change. We knew it was going to take a little while. I talked to some of the higher power political friends that I know and trust. And so we discussed some of these things. So I kind of understand the issues related to it. And I kind of understood those coming in because we've talked about them, a million times. And we're going to continue to work for it. Now, it's funny because this one person that is advocating for, or supposedly advocating for children, completely has stopped advocating for children and started attacking anybody that does actually get off their butt to advocate for children. It's funny because this particular creator said that they got a letter to go to the White House. So I ponied up my letter and said, hey, show your receipts. So they did a video on showing their receipts, and the receipts were none. The receipts were taking a high power person and manipulating words. That was their receipts. And I'm just dumbfounded. You need to get back to work and work on the children and keep yourself in your own lane. But I pray for you. I pray for you. And I feel sorry for you, to be honest with you, because you have no one. You're miserable. The only people that you did have at one time was me and other people, but you chose to be vindictive, venomous, and it shows more about you than it'll ever show about me. And quite frankly, who you say doesn't like me, you're going to be surprised very, very soon. And can't wait for you to eat those very, very words. So good luck. I wish you the best. I would start changing your focus back to advocating for children. And you don't do hate very well. And 600 views is not getting you anywhere. So good luck. Good luck. Everybody else, it's nice to see you guys here this morning. But I wanted to go over this 118-page let me put it back up. Document. This is what we heard. We heard that through the evidence that was found. Let me get over here and see if I can make this a little larger. Hold on. It's probably not going to get too much larger, is it? Maybe I should say it. But anyways, it's not going to get too much larger for whatever reason. But in the evidence package of materials that Pennsylvania acquired, they found this book. And on page 118, apparently there was some highlighted verbiage on here. Now, granted, this page, we don't have a picture of the highlighted page, but this is the page that they were referencing to. And I thought it was very interesting, especially this top area here. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor or not, but the very first paragraph, which was a sentence that carried over from page 117, I thought this was pretty interesting because It's talking about a good deal was my insistence that the killer would reside within a locus of a half a mile of the site of his latest victim. We know he was not in a half mile, but it's not that sentence, the finishing of that sentence, that gets me. It's the next one. And it says, like Chase, the disorganized killer walks to the scene or takes public transportation, whereas the organized offender drives his own car or sometimes takes the victim's car. If the disorganized offender owns a car, it will often appear unkept and in poor condition, as well as his dwelling. What do we know about Bryan Kohberger? That's the part that I thought was interesting, because they're talking about an organized offender as well as a disorganized offender. And the disorganized offender owns a car that's unkept and in poor condition. We know that Bryan Kohberger's car was not in poor condition, and that it, in all appearances, appeared to be kept. And also his dwelling. Why do I say that? Because the people downstairs said he was constantly cleaning and vacuuming upstairs in the middle of the night. And it says right here, the very next sentence, the organized offender's car will be in proper condition. Taking one's own car or the victim's car is part of a conscious attempt to obliterate evidence of the crime. Similar to the organized offender brings his own weapon to the crime and takes it away once he's finished. He knows that there's fingerprints on the weapon, or that the ballistic evidence may connect him to the murder, or so he takes it away from the scene. He may wipe any fingerprints from the entire scene of the crime, wash away blood, and do many other things to prevent identification either from the victim or himself. The longer the victims remain unidentified, of course, the greater the likelihood that the crime will not be traced back to the perpetrator. Usually the police find the victims of an organized killer to be nude, without clothing, or they are without clothing, comma, let me make sure that they are less easily identified. It may seem a very large step from wiping away fingerprints on a knife to decapitating a body, burying the, I don't even want to go into that, the head in different places, from, like, they're talking about the whole mutilation aspect of it, but he didn't do all that. And then it goes into the disorganized killer. But that second paragraph really kind of identifies almost what I would presume that Bryan Kohberger may or may not have done. You know, we know he took the knife with him. He accidentally I personally thought he planted the sheath. I think he took it, wiped it down. I still believe he went back into the house a second time that morning when he was there at 9 something in the morning. Okay, 9 something in the morning. But again, I just find this interesting. Let me keep reading, because many of you guys can't see this on your screen because it's so small, and I tried to blow it up and it won't let me blow it up. So we're getting down to the disorganized killer. The disorganized killer may pick up a steak knife in the victim's home, plunge it into blah, 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 such as, but you know what he might have gotten, because he highlighted this particular page. I wonder if this is what made him decide to use a knife. Such a disorganized mind does not care about fingerprints or other evidence. If police find a body readily that is the clue to the crime has been done by a disorganized offender, organized ones transport the bodies from the place that the victims were killed and then hide the bodies, sometimes quite well. So I feel like, and then it references Ted Bundy in here. And we all know that Bryan Kohberger's mother was sympathetic to Ted Bundy. So I wonder if maybe he had considered, if it was just Maddie and Xana, if he had planned on actually removing them from the house, but because there was 4 victims, he had to leave them and instead took the knife. I mean, I don't know. Let me keep going here. Many of the Ted Bundy victims were never found. Bob Berdella in Kansas City, Missouri, killer who like John Gacy, abducted, tortured, and killed young boys, cut up their bodies into, I'll leave that, and fed them to dogs. Oh, that's disgusting. A different dynamic seems to have, excuse me, sorry, it's hard for me to read too because it's a little blurry on my end. A different dynamic seems to have been at work in the instance of the Hillside Strangler, who was later identified as two men. The victims were found, and the killer later turned out to have been one of the quite organized offenders. Their desires seem to have been egotistical one, to flaunt the bodies in front of the police rather than concealing them in an effort to prevent tracing the killer through identification of the victims. So this is kind of really interesting stuff, in my opinion, related to the Idaho 4, did he use this or some portion of it? Because I kind of believe he didn't use just one person's. I think he followed several different serial killers. He invested time in several different serial killers. And I think he could have potentially took a piece from this one, a piece from this one, and a piece from this one to make himself. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, but it is a possibility. It is a possibility. Let me see where we are. Oh, AJ Copeland, nice to see you. I see your super sticker. Let me see what it looks like. Hold on. Aw. And Brandy has been a member for 4 months. Nice to see you. Aw. Can't believe you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys rock. You really do. You guys make my day. Sorry, my voice. When I get back home, I'll rest the voice. I've been talking an awful lot down here, up here, because I'm down. Florida's down there. And then listen to this. So I was on Twitter as well, and it was somebody that actually has been in this chat room with us during the Alex Murdaugh trial that's on Twitter dogging me because I had a picture with someone. And she's like, oh, it doesn't look like she's advocating for the children. Listen, this is a convention. This is with multiple people that have booths and things like that, and special breakout meetings and stuff like that. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people around, and you've got to be able to grab them when you have an opportunity to grab them. And you got to talk in their ear when you have an opportunity to talk in their ear. I don't know. Obviously, this person has never gotten out, never has been at one of these events, has never advocated for anything, because then they would know that this is how it's done when you have a convention type setting. They are so mean. And it's sad. And it's sad because these are people that are complaining about somebody taking their money. I haven't asked, nobody's outside of the sponsorship I got that has nothing to do with this channel. Nobody has helped me one bit to get here. Nobody has paid for my room. Nobody has paid for my gas. I'm doing this all financially on my own for this avocation of these children. And you got people that are sitting here being nasty, that are sitting at their home doing absolutely, literally zero. Never have once been to one meeting in their own community, has never been to a soup kitchen to help feed the homeless, has never literally done anything to help their community. Nothing. And they are complaining about the work that I am doing. They are complaining about the work we are doing. And it's sad. Am I ashamed? Of course not. I work very hard. I spend a lot of money to cover cases. And when I see something that's over and over and over again, I was just watching Valley Visions. I didn't get a chance to watch it all the way through. It was only a half hour. I probably could have, but I was trying to set up for this live. And yet again, another mother out in Texas, stabs her kids. 3 of them are already dead. 2 are hanging on by a thin strand, and they may expire as well. And a social worker was doing a unannounced visit on the home while she had the kids in her care, and is standing out there while this woman is killing her children inside the home. And you cannot tell me that some type of centralized database wouldn't have worked. That social worker would have gone to that home with law enforcement, not by herself. That woman could have came out and attacked her. And this is happening all over the country. All over the country. And so I do believe, we have talked to a lot of people. We know what needs to be changed. It's just getting people to realize it needs to be changed and actively making positive changes, So it's got to be a grassroots effort. I've got to, I still have a few meetings left in my own community, and then we have the form letter that we need to start getting out to the rest of the people. I'm sick of covering these children cases. I will continue to cover them as long as they're there, because they need to be, attention needs to be brought to them. But at the end of the day, it's tough. It's tough. And I cry often for these children. Sometimes whenever I read these things and I read some of the descriptions, or I see a crime scene photo or something like that, it's rough. It's rough to see. It's rough to watch. Quentin Simon was one of the hardest cases that I have had to cover so far. We also have an update that Madeline McCann, they believe she's deceased. Remember, we had a lot of stuff where a girl thought she was the child and wants her parents to take DNA tests. It's unfortunate, but we're finding out today through the news that they are not coming clean with what evidence they have. But whoever is doing the investigation has evidence that points in the direction that this child is no longer in existence in this country or any other country. We don't know what evidence they have. They're not releasing that yet, but I am monitoring it, and there is a report out there that believes the little girl is gone, and we were so hopeful that she was alive. But we also know the statistics, and the bottom line is the statistics on the children is, if we don't find them. That's why it was so important for J.J. Rowland when we went to Brooksville to find him that day, because after 24, 48 hours, their numbers plummet, literally plummet. You have, almost a plateau for the first 48 hours, and then it just drops. And what that drop means is that's the chances of them being alive. When you see that plunge, that's the chances of them being alive. So if we don't find these children by 72 hours, the chances of us ever finding the children go away. Is this my state representative or governor? I don't know who you're talking about, Roe. Did you see Dylan Round's case? Yes, we did a community post on that. And that reminds me, for all the people that are out there in YouTube world, if you're not getting my post, you're not getting my community post, make sure that you check your bell and make sure it's to all. And also check the bell and make sure it is to all. And after I'm done with this, maybe unsubscribe and resubscribe might be able to trigger that back. But yes, I put out a post on my community page literally 16 seconds after they were running the story that James Brenner was the one that was arrested in connection with Dylan Round's death. So obviously Dylan Rounds is gone. They still haven't recovered him yet. Hopefully with this new charge, James Brenner will realize that he's up the creek without a paddle. And at least tell them where Dylan is so his family can put him to rest. But it's concerning because there was heavy equipment out there, and God knows where Dylan could be. But James Brenner had all the time in the world to make sure that he was gone. And it seems like he was successful in that. I was almost kidnapped as a child. It's hard to watch society doing evil things, scary. You know what? I don't want to go into her name. She knows who she is. She's another creator on here, and I was working with her on a couple different cases, and she was also almost abducted in a different state, in a different area. And it was crazy because one of the cases we covered, uh, there was a family member that she believed looked like the guy that tried to do it. And she nonchalantly asked about a particular vehicle. And the sister said, "Oh, yeah, he drove that." And it freaked us both out. It freaked us both out. So she may have actually looked and came into contact many years later with the person that actually tried to abduct her. How freaky is that? Now, we don't know if that's the case. It was just, I'll leave it at that because, again, her business, and I don't want to identify her. We always knew that the case stinks to high heaven, the highest levels. Yeah. Is it my state rep or governor? I don't know. Oh, I think I already read that row, and I have no idea what state you're from. I don't remember. Did you see Dylan Rounds? Okay, so I must have went back a little bit. Sorry about that. 6 kids removed from county below me. Oh my God. Ugh. But it makes you wonder why these kids aren't being removed sooner. You sound like you're getting sick. No, 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 no. I literally never get sick. I lose my voice because I talk so much. And it comes along. That's why a lot of people that are on radio or TV or things like that, they start getting almost a little husky voice because they're always talking. They talk for hours and hours and hours and hours. Amen. And you can imagine that since March 28th to today, just how much talking I have done. It's a lot. I'll say that. It's been a lot. Good morning, Pententon. Nice to see you. Wants to know if she could contact to help you with the database part. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Ro. Yes, we are going to need all hands on deck, but here's the issue. I've got to figure out, this is what's been holding us up from moving forward, is the form letter. I've got to get the form letter prepared, or something that people have an idea of the language we're going to be using to push some stuff forward, and I haven't gotten that yet. I need to work with I'm going to be meeting with some higher level people in my state of Florida, where I'm from. One, because they know me, and 2, they'll be willing to sit down and guide me. So that's kind of where I am at right at the moment. Thank you, Miss Davis. It makes me sick the way they complain about you. Honey, let those weak, lazy, insecure haters keep on hating. Every time they hate on you, God opens more doors. It is true. God does open more doors for me. And I'm going to be making another trip to another state here in the next week. I'm trying to, well, at least I hope. I'm working on that now. I've got to get with a few people and figure stuff out. But I might be heading out of state literally as soon as my conversation is done with the attorneys in can't even talk anymore, in Tennessee. I'm tired, guys. I'm really exhausted. I was actually debating whether to even go to this whole thing over at the National Cemetery, or the Arlington Cemetery. But I decided, I did commit to it, so I do honor my commitments. And I know it'll be very special. Okay, you're in the state of Maine. Yeah, we're going to need a lot of help from the state of Maine. We need to get 35 states on board. That's our goal. We got to get 35 states on board, at least talking about it. And I think for 35 states, it's going to take at least a couple years to finally realize, get them to realize that we're serious. So this is a long-term item. It's not something that we're going to be able to snap our fingers and have done, which we knew going in. But today, just coming out here, it really wasn't about, it was about planting the proper seed for these people. Once all this crap that they're dealing with right now dies down, they're going to have to start talking about other stuff, just like we do, right? When we're dealing with a case, it's like, when it dies down, we need to start focusing on another case and start focusing on another story. That's the job. So right now things are a little crazy, but once things start calming down, we're going to have to start focusing on other things. And that's where I'm hoping we can get to. There's another little girl within the same time frame that went missing west of where I was almost kidnapped, and she was never found. I wish she would get justice. It was in the 60s. Wow. Do you do cold cases? Actually, I haven't really done any cold cases, but I have a whole database of serial killers that I've never discussed other than oh good Lord, I can't even remember the guy's name anymore. He's a serial killer from South Carolina that I covered, and he has my home address because I wrote him. And he wrote me back, and I never wrote him again. I don't know why. I was meaning to, because I want to get an interview with him, like a face-to-face or, whatever type of interview. And I never did because I kind of got spooked that he had my home address. I don't think I quite sent that or thought that through. I didn't play the tape through on that one. Betty, I will send you, I think you meant to say I'll send you an email. Yes, send me an email, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I haven't even looked at my emails in quite some time. Let me pop over here and see if there's anything else. Sort of the spirit says suspect charged with murder 9 months after Utah 19-year-old's disappearance. Wow, I'll have to watch that. There was a shelter in place after train derailment. I'm not sure what time that was or if that's recent. I know East Palestine is really, really bad. I actually was talking to a friend that is actually selling a store and moving to North Carolina. And we were talking about that. Now he lives, and I had another friend that lives there too, about 100 miles away, and or maybe even further than that. And they were telling me that they could smell that smell. They said people were getting headaches, people were getting sick. It was really, really bad. And they said they don't think that the government should have, burnt it and put it up in the atmosphere. There was a lot of toxic chemicals. Obviously, fish are dead. Wildlife is dead. Paint is literally chipping off, rubbing, not even chipping off. Like you can take your finger and just rub on the cars and the paint just comes off. Second derailment in Ohio last night. Holy crap. I'm telling you, there's something going on. When we start having spy balloons in the air being shot down, we're having all these derailments. And I was even having a discussion with somebody, and they said that the one in Manatee County by me is probably just a coincidence. And I'm thinking, you don't know us here or there in Manatee County. We are pretty good at maintaining everything. I mean, not once upon a time, but we have orange juice. We have the Tropicana factory in Bradenton where I live. It's been there my entire life. And I got to tell you, I would think that a derailment would have happened with the orange juice as opposed to propane. And it's concerning me that it's that the trains that are derailing is the ones that have toxic stuff on them. Toxic stuff. And then we hear, I've been watching and listening to a lot of people talking about, the drug epidemic here and everything like that. It's, and I was listening to one professional, and they're like, this is not a war on drugs. They are poisoning people. So I don't want to get into conspiracy theories or anything. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you guys are on. There's something going on in this country, and everybody needs to be vigilant about it. This is not anything that is a conspiracy theory. These are things that we can't deny at the moment. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I don't get it, but it is very scary. It is very scary. I did not know there was a second derailment in Ohio. I've been kind of checked out for a little minute, doing all this stuff here. Unbelievable. Let me pull that up. And if there is a second derailment in Ohio, they are not, I don't see it on anything. I don't see it on anything. It's not running on news at all. Tanker exploded and burning 2 houses already. Can't remember where. I don't know. Good question. That is a good question. I have literally no earthly idea who would be behind something like this. Springfield, Ohio. Let's get back here. Springfield, Ohio. Every time I hear oh, because I didn't spell this. Hold on. I didn't spell it right. 20 cars. Oh my gosh, 20 cars of Norfolk Southern cargo train derailed in Ohio. This came in at 8 hours ago. 20 cars of the Norfolk cargo, oh wow, they're mangled, derailed in Springfield Saturday evening, the second derailment of the company's train in Ohio in a month, official says. About 20 cars of Norfolk Southern cargo train derailed in Springfield Saturday evening, the second derailment of the company. It sounds like the same company's train in Ohio in a month, officials said. But unlike February 3rd derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, a company spokesperson said there was no hazardous material on board the train. The train, which did not have passengers, derailed about 5 p.m. Saturday by State Road 41 near Clark County Fairground. The dispatch report, Springfield is about 46 miles west of the state capital of Columbus, Ohio. That's not that far. The 20 cars of the 212-car train derailment while traveling south, the Norfolk Southern spokesperson said. Sean Heaton told Springfield News Sun that he was waiting at the intersection as the train crossed the intersection and captured the start of the derailment on video. Wow. I was right there and I was playing on my phone, and then I heard a loud bang. Interesting. And when I heard the loud bang, I started recording. When I heard the bang, there was all kinds of debris and metal shooting from under the cars. That's when I started recording and could see them start jumping off the track. A loud bang. A loud bang. I don't know. What would cause a loud bang? But when I was talking again, one of the friends that I was talking from that was from Ohio was telling me that we don't know this. Listen to this. But he read somewhere that there are some 400 and some odd train derailments a year, and we haven't heard about them. And I've got to check that status and see if that is true. I've never heard about it before. And you know, I'm wondering, is this, you know, are we just now being told because there's not news, or what? I don't know. Greece had a bad train accident too. Wow. I seen it on YouTube news, but forgot what channel. Thank goodness there were none. Yeah, I know. No harmful chemicals. Good morning, Paige. Nice to see you. Someone said one derailment in Detroit as well, but I don't know. This is insane. I bet you everybody's looking for derailments now, though. Pretty simple to me. Who was ready to strike on the railways back in December? Has anyone forgotten? That's where they'll find their culprits. Interesting, Jules. Interesting. No, I didn't hear about that. Maybe we need to do some extra research in all this derailment. This stuff is interesting. What time is it? Okay, we're still good on time. Good. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open up the phone lines just a little bit. Let me see. Actually, I don't think I'll do the phone lines. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button as you guys come in. Look at our infrastructure. Road trains everywhere is outdated. Other countries have high-speed rails. You know, just Samantha, I'm thinking about the high-speed rails. And can you imagine that? I mean, we had a high-speed rail derailment yet? I'm curious as to what those damages would look like if something started happening to those high-speed railways. But I agree with you. But hopefully I'm incorrect. What did you say, Vape King? Let me see. Good morning. Reset it. Oh, okay. That's out. Yeah, I did read that. You're saying you're hoping you're incorrect. Maurice. Oh, I don't know. I don't pronounce things very well, so bear with me. Chivarella's case was solved. It happened not far from where my attempted abduction took place. I was at the water fountain at the H Candy Factory. Wow. Which state was it that the airport luggage area found a bomb? Oh, I don't know, but I did hear that, Ro. I did hear that because Okie Crime News reached out to me. She was in flight to head back home when that stuff was, when ICML was dropping that stuff online. And I don't know which one it was, but it looked like it may have been somewhere in Pennsylvania, if I remember. But I can't be 100% on that. Has anyone heard that these might be an attack against America? I'm really confused about everything going on with the derailments. Paige, I am too. That's why I said I don't want to get, hyper political in here, but I just feel like everybody needs to be aware of their surroundings right now. Don't go to public places. Stay away from any place with train tracks. I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny. Like, even in my county, we have to go over train tracks, and it's just like, it makes me, it's concerning. Could these derailments affect deregulation? Be the effects of I have no idea. I have no earthly idea. Yeah, I know. I saw that, Pat. I was talking about it. I saw a little bit on it on Dolly Vision's channel this morning. I just watched probably, I think, the first, excuse me, 10 minutes or so from his live, and I caught it, and I was looking into it, and man, what a shame. And, again, we need some changes in the child welfare system. Like, that social worker should have never been over at that house by herself. She should have had law enforcement with her. But, she didn't realize. And I wish that they would have the centralized database. It would say that this lady was violent. Don't go over there alone. Use the buddy system. What if that lady came out of her house and started taking that knife toward that social worker that was just trying to do her job? And thank God, I mean, the social worker was literally doing her job, which, we kind of talk about social workers and stuff like that. And some of them are really good, and some of them just really aren't. But at the end of the day, you know, we want to advocate for the ones that are doing their job. And this lady was going over there for a pop visit, thank God. And because of that, the mom started offing her kids while the lady's outside just doing a home check. I've spoken to a few different people and they had heard this. Yeah. PA air. Okay, so Gemini 80 confirms it was the PA airport. I thought I heard something about Pennsylvania. So, and that was a few days ago. So hopefully that guy is in jail, but how scary. How scary. You know, many of you guys know both Mallory and I just recently saw Marissa. She's in Pennsylvania. You know, we had to fly into there, and to think that, and not only that, but Marissa's, you know, she's got to fly out of Pennsylvania. I don't know which airport, and there's several airports in Pennsylvania, but that's just a little too close to home. I was just literally in Pennsylvania last month. Too much is going on. I mean, a lot. Food factories in the U.S. all burning to the ground a year ago, and then the weather, weapons used. Yeah. BA, can I join you on the live? I have an opinion I'd like to share. Sure. Let me invite. Here you go, Paige. You'll have to show me your face. If you don't want to show your face to the screen, that's fine. You'll have to show me your face behind the scene, and then I'll bring you up. Derailment. Angelina ATF says derailments and drugs. Oh, and watch for the guy stealing your car with you still in it. A guy walking into a parking lot at WM didn't see me in my car and got in. I screamed and scared him. Holy crap. That would freak me out. But you know, in all fairness, I've done that. I've actually I was riding with a friend and I come out of a convenience store. I didn't walk out with my friend. I thought my friend went and got in the car, and there was two almost identical cars, and I ended up getting in the wrong car. Now I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, my friend, and I had to get out and walk right next to the next car, and it was like almost identical. Now, granted, they weren't identical. I can't remember what cars they were, but it was. I know they were both white, and they were both cars that looked the same, but they weren't from the same. They weren't the same make or model. They just happened to have the same body style, similar, not the same, similar body styles. Something that, you know, when you're walking and playing on your phone, you're not paying attention to. I'll just leave it at that. I hear you, Vape King. I hear you. I think an attack, not political so much, but techno warfare. That could be it, you know, with all the technology and everybody's online, and, you know, and even not only that, but, you know, some of these hackers, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we've watched TV and, you know, some of these movies that were inspired by real events and things like that. You see young kids learning to hack, and, you know, they're so smart on the computers and they learn everything that they need to know. And, you know, they're moving quicker. They're almost like the Gonzalez family. They're moving quicker than the lessons, you know? And so could it be a 13-year-old kid in mom's basement, you know, hacking into a system? I mean, all of these systems are online anymore. It's a scary process. And I don't know if, you know, what if somebody did kind of attack like our power grid, or, you know, the train programs. I mean, I reckon it could happen. I'm not a techie person. So, I mean, like when I hear of techie people, I think, oh my God, how smart these people are. Like, I would love to be that smart. I'd love to have that kind of knowledge, not to hack, but just the knowledge that they have of computers. Like, I was really smart in my era on the types of computers that we had, but the stuff that's going on today, the internet, you know, that didn't come around. That wasn't even heard of until I was like 15 years old. All right. All right, Paige, I see you. How are you doing, Kate?
Been better.
Okay, so I was able to reach our.
Oh, you're gonna have to turn me down in your background. I can hear the feedback.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right this second.
And ready to have any potential cyber attacks.
Good. What about Sean Baker himself? Yes, you
got Get down, dog.
to his bank accounts.
Oh,
You're here, and you're okay. There's some different. I got
hold on. Sorry, once.
I need.
Proceed.
I'll give her a few moments. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Sorry.
Damn dog's trying to bombard me. Anyways, when the reason I ask about if anybody else has heard that is because when we first heard about all the stuff going on with the derailments,
Mm-hmm.
some of the people I spoke to were really concerned about that because toxic waste. Oh my Lord!
That's cute.
I have 5 dogs. 2 of them are babies, and my female's about to have another litter. Thank good Lord.
What kind of dogs?
They're all Chihuahuas.
Aw.
Yeah, they're the best dogs in the world. When they don't want to attack each other. But I don't understand why that's not being more talked about. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the government and the news, everybody should be talking about that, and it's very seldom that you hear something about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like I'm scared. Like, I live in Washington, and I'm not even anywhere close to there. But with everything going on in the government and how people are being treated, like with my mental health, like and my pain, I'm not being treated for it. And I've been going through it for over 10 years, and now in a wheelchair because of it. And it's like, I feel like if something were to happen, I'd be, for me, I'd be terrified. I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, and not only that, but like the one in East Palestine, I can't remember where it's at, but that one, when they started burning the chemicals, well, it caught on fire anyways, but when they started burning the chemicals, I hear you're talking about 5 Chihuahuas, that those fumes were killing wildlife.
Yeah, it's really sad. I mean, nobody.
All those mothers that are pregnant breathing that crap in.
I know. And my dogs are everything to me. Like, for me, they're my actual medical and mental health service dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And they can bring me out of seizures. And if something were to happen to them, I would not do well at all.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. It was rough for me because my husband had, it's one of those things like when you're married and your husband has animals, they kind of become almost your animals. And it was really hard. It was really hard when I had to get rid of them because I'm traveling. They weren't my dogs. My husband left them, so I had to rehome them. Had to send them to a nonprofit for rehoming, and that was one of the hardest things I had ever done. I mean, I cried and cried and cried, but it wasn't fair to my dogs because I wasn't there. My neighbor was taking care of more of my dogs than I was, and my ex-husband, he came back from Ohio to pick them up, but he didn't really do that. All he wanted was stuff. So while I was out for my birthday, he ends up cleaning the entire house out and leaving the dogs locked up in the house without food or water. And that was it for me.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. So
that's another thing. And if I see anybody hurt a dog or a woman or a child, I'm going to step in. I'm not going to,
right.
But yeah, I feel like it's really unsettling for everybody to hear that. I mean, with all the confusion about why this is happening,
mm-hmm.
and what started it and why they're continuing to do it.
Yeah.
I just think it's ridiculous. They're going to kill people over this.
Yeah.
But
Angelina said my dog attacked my ex.
that's what my dog Tahoe, he's like 17 now, and he'll snap at you if you try to like come too close to me, or if he has to be next to me, and he gets nervous about anybody because he was badly abused by my best friend's ex. So
I don't like anybody that hurts. And like I remember I stepped out. I tell this story all the time. I was it was back when I smoked cigarettes, and I never smoked in my house, so I always stepped out the door. I never left my door open. I didn't like the smell in my house. I hated cigarette smell, and so I was just really and I remember going out one morning. It was really dewy. I didn't think about the little snails, and they're like about an inch by an inch. The big, they're not the small little tiny ones. They're a little bit bigger. But I heard this crack under my shoe, and my solar light came on, and I moved my foot, and I realized I squished a snail. And I remember crying. I put my cigarette out and went in the house crying. I'm like, I killed a snail. I feel guilty.
Oh Lord.
Like even when I spray chemicals in my house, for pests, because I do my own pest control. So I go to a professional center. I don't buy my chemicals from like Walmart or whatever. I go to a professional center for real, chemicals that just like the people that come in your house and just spray around your edges.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very cautious about making sure that I don't get it, because I'm scared I'm going to kill my lizards outside. So I only spray, like most of them treat the outside. I only treat the inside. I'm so scared I'm going to kill something outside.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. This whole situation is so bizarre.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And it makes you wonder, like, why hasn't like the government or even the president like tried to like help explain or tried to say something about it? I mean, I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen anything from, to be honest with you, from a lot of people. Nobody's really talking about this.
Which is, in my opinion, that's really sketchy.
Yeah, nobody's really talking about this. Nobody's really talking about. Think about it, like even the balloon that was shot out of the sky. I mean, outside of a couple little.
Oh yeah, clips, that was really weird.
Yeah, outside of a couple little clips.
And China,
little news organizations. I mean, it was just one little blurb and moved right on.
I know China, during that whole thing, China apparently claimed that it was not spy balloons, that they must have just gotten away. Bullshit.
No, because there was the one that was in the one of the planes, the military planes.
Yeah.
He took a picture of it and posted it. It's posted.
Insane. Yeah, I've seen that. It's really weird that.
But it wasn't the military people. The guy that shot the freaking balloon down took a picture of it before he shot it down.
That's just insane. Oh Lord, I'm so glad I'm not a pilot.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just. I mean, at the end of the day, it was just a balloon. It wasn't something that was going to harm or injure us in any way. But it's still scary that we already know China's watching everything we're doing, anyways. But and Big Brother. Let's be honest. I mean.
There's cameras everywhere.
So
nobody's getting around those.
So I mean, it wasn't something that was going to injure anybody. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. That was going to physically injure anybody, but still just a little kind of uncomfortable to think that we're getting. I don't know what's going on. It's I don't want to get too far down this rabbit hole, but. It is scary. I think the only thing that I'm trying to advocate for is just everybody, just be careful for yourself.
Yeah.
Be vigilant. Pay attention this day and age about anything. And if you feel odd or feel weird or you get a gut feeling, listen to it. That's all I'm saying. I just want everybody to be happy and healthy. If it's nothing, it's nothing. If it's something, I want you guys to, be vigilant.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm in a wheelchair. Well. I'm having an electric one as well, but like I won't leave my house unless my caregiver's here because I have very bad anxiety and like severe claustrophobia even around in open spaces. But I mean,
Yeah.
this whole situation. So of course the situation, like first, it kind of has me on edge in a sense because I don't have my anxiety meds right now, so it's like that much worse for me. But I agree. Everybody needs to stay very vigilant and be cautious and careful with their families,
But again,
especially
you
children.
know what? My friend told me, and he's from Ohio, and I saw him here. Actually, two of my friends that were here were from Ohio. And but one of them I had a more in-depth conversation with an older guy that's been around the block a few times, and he said, believe it or not, there's like 400 derailments a year. I said, really? I said, in
Holy
the US?
crap!
And he said, yeah. He goes, this might just be, nothing new. It may not have anything to do with it. So I want to look at those numbers. Maybe you guys can do some searches on that. It might just be that this is hyper publicized. Nothing burger, but again, it's just something in my guts telling me there's something more here.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And I feel like the government won't say anything until like the last minute. Like they just everything is just so screwed up.
Because they never want us to worry. You blah 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 blah. It's just like quit worrying about my feelings. Like let me.
Yeah, I think it's better to let us worry about our own selves, than them.
Right.
But yeah.
All right, love bug. Well, listen, I've got to wind down here. I got to start getting the rest of this stuff packed up, and I got to get to Arlington Cemetery.
Well, have a wonderful day.
You too, love. Thanks for coming on.
Yep. Bye.
Let's see. I saw something else here. Oh, and just a big shout out to our beloved Sepsis Kills. I'm just hearing this morning. I did not know. I obviously haven't been paying attention to my own mod squad group. And I'm sorry about that, mods, but I just found out that Emma Sepsis Kills is back in the hospital. I don't know. I'm not going to go into her. She wants to share her. And some of you, I know she shared in the chat about some of the stuff she's going through. But let's just say some prayers for Emma. She's always good to us. She's been with me for a really long time. She's from the UK and just a lovely person. I want the best for her. And it's, she just struggles medically quite a bit. So, always be kind to one another because you never know what the person next to you is going through. And let's just say some prayers for Emma. I was just hoping to hear your thoughts on the items taken from Brady K's home. Anything stick out to you? I doubt he had the murder knife just sitting in his bedroom drawer. No. Just Samantha, he didn't. They have so far we've heard they have not found the murder weapon. But the interesting thing is on that list, which we discussed not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, the list actually had a knife on it. It had, let me see if I can find, is this it? No, that's his termination. I had it up. What did I do with it? Dad burn it. Is this it? No, that's not it. I must have shot it down. Shoot, that sucks. That sucks. Which one's this one? Oh, that's that one. Okay, we got that. So, yeah, no, on his list, but one of the very first things said knife. It didn't say what kind of knife, but further down it said they even found a pocket knife. So I'm like, well, they're describing this pocket knife, but not the first item, knife. And so it was a little interesting. And they also referenced that maybe you weren't here at the beginning of the segment, but they referenced him highlighting some stuff on page 118. And you might want to rewind because we went over and read what page 118 says. It was blurry on my end. It was hard to read on your end. So I tried to read it the best I could. But it was really interesting what was on that page. It kind of made the hair on the back of my neck stand up in part because of it. But anyways, I'll just pull this up real quick for you guys again. Oops, there we go. take this off right there. And there's the page 118 right there. And some of the stuff in there freaks me out. And and some of the stuff freaks me out so much that I keep wondering, did he plan on moving the bodies, but because there were so many of them, he wouldn't be able to? I keep wondering that, because I would have to identify him, in my opinion, reading these descriptions, that he falls under the organized killer as opposed to the unorganized offender. I shouldn't say killer. I should say offender, because that's the way the book read. Organized offender and unorganized offender. And they were talking about both of them. So when I was reading it, for me personally, I believe that Bryan Kohberger fell more in line with the organized offender in this page 118. But creepy. It even talks about knives on this page. And I don't know. It creeps me out. And to think that he was reading this stuff, and you really kind of, when you start reading some of the stuff he was reading, it seems like he was almost on a search mission about himself. He was searching for answers almost because of the way he was feeling. I wonder if he knew this is what at some point he had to have known this is what he wanted to do. Hey, ZA, nice to see you. Happy Sunday, lovelies, ladies and lovelies and gents. I love that. I love that. Nice to see you, Southern Granny Wolf. We don't have a whole lot of time to talk today because, like I said, I've got to get to Arlington Cemetery. I still have all this stuff to pack up. The good news is I woke up super, super early. So the big bags, my big bags, I brought 2 of them, one filled with my entire closet, the other one filled with my entire shoe closet. And I used literally 1/10 of everything I brought. But if I didn't bring it, I would have needed it. So I that's the way I do. If I'm driving, I bring everything I could possibly need, because I don't want to stop somewhere. I don't want to have to buy something if I could just pack it up. Oh, I don't give them any. I don't give them any. I actually think it's comical. I think it's comical anymore how much people can actually hate. I'm dead serious. I find it sad, but I find it comical, because these are people that literally do nothing. And I'm surprised that people even listen to them. But, there's a segment of the population that's just angry. And, they can have those angry people, and they can keep being angry. And I'm going to keep being happy. I'm going to keep doing the things that I do. I'm going to keep inspiring other people to do better in their world and in their life. And we're going to keep advocating for victims. I could care less if they hate it. You know what? If they hate it, it says more about them than it does about us. That's the way I look at it, right? There's good and there's bad. I'm not saying that everybody that disagrees with me is a bad person. I'm controversial. I'm a little salty. I'm a little sweet. I'm a very unique person that thinks outside of the box and kind of just does my own thing. I don't ask permission to be me. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. And you know what I say to the people that don't like what I'm doing? Get out there and do something different then. Nobody's stopping you from advocating for the stuff you believe in. If you don't like what I'm doing, then go out and do what you need to do that makes your world better. If I'm doing what I think needs to be done. If you think it's the wrong way, then go out and show me how it's done. Right? Go out. Don't complain about it. What does complaining do? It does absolutely nothing. It does nothing for you. It does nothing to me. It does nothing to the audience. If you don't like it, go out and do something different. Right? I mean, it's easy. It's easy. Because you know what? When I see people doing something I don't like, do you think I sit here and complain about it needlessly for hours on end? No. What you see me do is go out and do something about it and go live, right? It's that simple. It's that simple. Everybody has their voice. Let it be heard. Let it be heard. But complaining, it's not going to get you anywhere. It won't. Trust me. I've done it. Let me let you be wise instead of smart. What's the difference between a wise person and a smart person? A wise person learns from other people's mistakes. A smart person learns from theirs. I'm a smart person. Sometimes I can be wise, but for the most part, I'm a smart person. So let me let you be a little wise, okay? Learn from my mistakes. Complaining does nothing. If you're going to complain and not put action behind it, it's just falling on deaf ears. It may make you feel good, but it ain't doing a damn thing. Beating up Bullhorn Betty, what has it gotten you? Absolutely nowhere. You know where it's gotten you? Lack of growth. And the only people that are going to listen to you are people that want the drama, that want to hear somebody complaining, that want somebody to make that. I'm not with that. I'm not a feel-good personality. I'm not an emotional personality. Do I have emotions? Do I feel things? Of course I do. But, those are my feelings that I don't push on other people. And you shouldn't be pushing your feelings on other people either. But hey, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. But as you can see, it's not helping your cause. I help my cause. And that's what makes people so angry, is because I don't sit on my butt and on my hands and sit here and complain endlessly. I do something about it. If I don't like it, I do something about it. I know what this is good for. And let me tell you, you got 2 of these and 2 of these and only 1 of these. You should probably use it proportionately. Just saying. Oh, trust me, I will. Yes, too much hate. There is too much hate. People are just angry. They're just angry. They're angry because a number of things. Some people can't even afford to buy groceries. I mean, that would make me angry, right? There's a reason for that. There's a fix for it too. All right, guys. Well, it is coming up to 7:40. I got to get hitting the road. I love each and every one of you. I don't know what's going on with Coffee Club tomorrow, but I may decide to skip tomorrow and get some rest and maybe throw out some videos. So be sure you have the bell on all, because once I get home, I'm going to start doing a lot of research. But if there's any new cases coming, I should be getting some more drops from case. I mean, we're past March. It's March 5th. Something's going to be coming very soon, and we're going to be able to at least have some idea of what's going on in that case, or at least a direction. Their investigation should be wrapping up here shortly, if it hasn't already. So anyways, guys, I love you. God bless each and every one of you. Go make it a great day. And don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, be safe.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Before I cut off, I just realized, big shout out to Jen. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. God bless you for your contribution to our cause and everything else. And again, guys, I love you. God bless you and have a great day.